Peace, peace, peace. What is going on? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. What is going on? I'll give everybody a second to hop on. Are you prepared for this economic Black Friday? What is your question, one sheeter? I know Tony is ready. Hey, Tony, hop in. Let me see if I can find you. I know Tony ready. Are you ready for this economic Black Friday? Thank you, Queen.
What's up, my dog?
Man, everything, man. I'm trying to see if people ready for this economic Black Friday, man.
Turn it up, run it up.
Hey, look.
You know I'm ready.
Oh, I know you ready, man.
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm telling people, man, like they've used this whole recession term as a fear tactic for our people, and it scares people away. But it should be putting a fear in them that if they don't make a change, they're gonna be in financial ruin. And we have an opportunity to purchase everything at the dip, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, whether it's real estate. If you want to purchase automobiles, if you want to buy a business. But we gotta get in. People have to be in position. This is probably gonna be a once in a lifetime opportunity for people to be able to change everything with their family, man.
I know one thing I realized, and this even happened when I created Rona Proof, like early 2020. Those people that took the action to invest in themselves and start educating themselves in 2022 in a lot better position. I think one of the most important things, and my dad says this all the time, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance, right? And a lot of us, man, I be running ads on some of the blog pages and stuff like that. And the first thing you see is like when people hear real estate or things like that, they assume scam or, something negative. And I started thinking about just like for like the people like who think scam or think something negative when they hear real estate or these ways that we can build wealth, things that the Caucasians and everybody else have owned for hundreds of years, and we still right now have like really been brainwashed into thinking that real estate and things like that are scams or whatever. And I just think that it's extremely important for us to really open up our eyes about where wealth is built, the importance of education, man. Like I even watched like a lot of stuff that you've been doing recently, man. It's important for like people to see that ownership piece, actually going buying commercial and residential properties. When they see us, they don't think real estate.
At all.
What our culture has glamorized is the hip hop culture. So when for us, it's the jewelry, it's the clothes, the designer bags, etc. But most of the people, when you just think about it on some real shit, like don't own anything other than like shit that's not worth anything over time. I was even guilty of that at one point where like my closet was worth more than the place I was renting.
Hey,
you get there's people that their closet outweighs the place that they rent from somebody that they're building wealth. They're helping somebody else build wealth with that ownership. So we just gotta get into a place where more people just keep getting exposed to the information. And I love that for the longest you had talked about just credit specifically, but I love seeing you in that lane of now being more vocal and sharing like your real estate shit, man. It's just like it's an important thing. Like more people that's doing it the right way, legit, need to be highlighted. I fuck with you, so
thank you, man.
I see.
No, definitely.
And that's like it's a lot of people that hate on people that do whatever they do similar, and that's not my character. Like if you're doing good work, you're doing good work, and I think that's the most important piece. Is like I think people need to know there are people that are doing this industry, being successful in this industry, doing it the right way, not taking advantage of people. And sometimes when you be around the wrong people, you can kind of get mixed in. Like people get confused about the whole thing, man. And that's like one of the most unfortunate things. Like sometimes you just guilty by who you associated with at one point. So
Facts.
I see a lot of that too. So I be having people that be confusing me for another joker. I be like, bro, like
Right.
I be like that, man. Like you ain't that ain't my type of time. So like it's just dope to see what you doing and how you using your platform, bro, and just keep doing that shit. Like I think everybody has to really see more of it. Like the more people see it, the more success that people see from it, then it's going to normalize it. Right now, the only way we normalize success is through shit that ain't really successful.
No, no, real talk, man. Definitely appreciate that. And that's the thing, and what I've really been trying to convey with my messaging and my platform. Nobody taught us about ownership. Like you say, I remember I had a client who wanted to invest into coaching, and I saw somebody put in the chat, YouTube is free and all of that. I've never met a successful person that said, I'm a Google information. They said, I'm going to go in and invest in a mentor or go and get the information. And so that's the first thing we got to start learning is that we got to value the information. But then when it comes to the ownership piece, nobody teaches us that because they don't want us to participate. That's why they're dropping fear in the recession. And so my client who didn't have the money, and like you mentioned, his closet was worth more than what he owned in assets. So he actually sold his sneaker collection, invested in, and started working with me. I helped him get some money and he rebought another sneaker collection and started making more money because now he learned how to run it like a real business. So we got to start learning what is value. And like Hove said, we know the price of everything but the value of nothing. And until we learn that, and here's the other thing too. And I see, people dropping stuff like you don't have to offer the courses. I don't have to offer courses because we could do everything ourselves and still eat and get paid. We own real estate, we own property, we got land in other countries. Like we don't necessarily have to be able. We don't have to give it back, but we do. And that's the thing that people really have to start realizing. And it doesn't hurt us when people don't participate. They just look up 2 to 3 years from now, knowing that their money is going to be worth less in the next 4 years. That should scare the shit out of somebody.
No, no, what should really scare them is the fact that if you haven't made any money, that you're gonna be in the same spot that you are in right now 2 to 3 years from now. That's even scarier.
Yeah.
Like I remember just like thinking about like what I wanted out of my life back in 2017, 2018, and I'm so grateful for the steps I took and investing into myself and in education and things of ignorance things that I was ignorant in, I got exposed to. And just by the exposure, man, it opened up so many things. Well, even how I think, how I view business, how I operate and make money, and it's made me multiple millions of dollars. Uh, and then that allowed me to even expand what I do in real estate, man. Like, bro, like I'm like owning millions in real estate is like free and clear is like a
Bro,
different
that's a
like
different feeling, man. Like
yeah, that shit
I
just
own
like
a I own a
it's
bank I own a bank building free and clear. Like I got governors calling me in a city asking like can we do things together? Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's nothing more freeing than when you got ownership. And I say ownership means own some shit. Like that it's nothing more powerful than that, man. I mean, and we most of us all come from similar backgrounds. I can remember being in Las Vegas sleeping in my car. I can remember, having one pair of pants. I can remember not even having a bank account. My bank account when I moved to Las Vegas was in my brother's name. Like I was in financial ruin. And it's people who's been in that same position over the past several years because everything to them looks like a scam. Like how in the world is real estate a scam when everything we do is real estate?
man. I put up a ad today on a page, and I was like the biggest lie in real estate. It was the header, biggest lie in real estate. And I said, you don't need a real estate license. You don't need credit. You don't need any experience. You don't have to have a background check. And if you would have saw the amount of negative comments based off people here in real estate, I'm like, you think real estate is scam? I pray for you. Like for real, like everything around you is real estate. Like if you can't look around like and understand either you own it or
Yo,
Like, I was like, wow, bro. It's like it's scary that we got people that really think this type of shit.
man, when I learned that wealthy people use real estate to borrow money tax free, that right there blew. I didn't have to hear anything else, and so I'm excited, man. I'm definitely sitting back waiting for the Black Friday, the economic Black Friday, while everybody is in line trying to buy the Western Gate televisions. I'm gonna be standing in line buying more houses where they're gonna put the televisions in. So I'm excited, man. But no, appreciate you hopping on here, bro. Like, we definitely keep building, man. And yeah, thank you for tapping in.
Hey, respect, my boy.
Definitely, man. Peace. Are you ready for the economic Black Friday? I don't think y'all are. They talk about the recession. A recession just means everything is on sale. That's all recession means. They instilled that word into us. They told us it's a recession. They told us credit was bad. They told us that real estate is a scam. The people who buying their own real estate, the one told y'all that real estate is a scam. Check this out. So I often say that. I often say, absolutely, Carmen. Hey, I want to bring you on too, Carmen, in a second. So I often tell people, when you change the way you think, that's when you'll become successful. When you change the way you think, that's when you'll become successful. And so I had to start changing the way I look at everything. So even as the recession is looming, I looked at it completely different and I said, that's a sale. Everything is on the dip. The stock's on the dip. The crypto's at a dip. Real estate is at a dip. The vehicles are about to be at a dip. They say my mic is low. Let me know if y'all can hear me on my mic on YouTube. Businesses are about to be at a dip. People are frantic because they are under leveraged. They don't have the capital because they didn't want to work on their credit 3 to 5 years ago. I've been screaming this for the past 7 years. Get your credit right. Learn how to leverage your credit. Build your business credit. I'm telling y'all, all y'all people who worrying about those net 30 accounts, y'all will see how you won't be able to participate in this economic Black Friday. Your Lowe's card won't help you buy houses when they go on sale. That Staples card and that BP gas card won't help you. Are you ready for the economic Black Friday? We so fearful about something that we don't even know what we're fearful about. So going back to the first economic Black Friday, the recession of 2008. Let me tell you how fearful people were and why people think real estate is a scam, particularly in the black community. Let me just go ahead and put this out there. A lot of the people who say real estate is a scam, who lost everything in 2008, it was because they were over leveraged. They didn't buy enough. Or excuse me, they overspent for their properties. They said my YouTube volume is low. I apologize. They were over leveraged. If you bought a house that was worth 200, but you paid 500 because it had it had heated marble floors, you got finessed. See, a lot of people from our community, we buy real estate because it feels good. Oh, it's next to the stadium. Oh, it's a Walgreens coming. It's a Starbucks coming. No, does it cash flow? That's how I buy real estate. And so thinking about back in 2008, and this is how people got finessed and why the more people collapsed when it came to the original Black Friday recession. There were people who owned the properties who walked away from their properties even though they were upside down. But here's something that most people don't know, or why they put themselves in a bad position. See, most people didn't know that their rents were still servicing the debt. So let me give you an example. So let's say you bought a property for 400 and your mortgage was 2500 a month. Okay? And your rents that you were collecting was 2500 a month. But that property went from 400,000 to 200,000. Your rents didn't change. But there were people who walked away from the house because the value changed. But if you understand, overstand, and understand the ebbs and flows of money, of economics, what goes down must go back up. So now there are people who kept their properties even though the value decreased, but because they understood ownership, now they are on the right side of the equity of that, and the tenants paid all of that down. You didn't have to walk away from it. But here's the thing that happens. Unfortunately, let me stop saying we. People don't understand economics. That's why we losing. Like Andy said, it happens every 7 years. I'm going to prove to you that 99% of the people around you don't know economics. I'm going to prove it to you. Ask somebody that you know. Ask, A-S-K. I say it that way because I remember a quick story. I remember when I used to do telephone sales, and I was calling, and I called into West Virginia. And if you know anything about West Virginia, it's not a lot of black people there. And I remember I was making some dials, and I got on the phone, and I said, "Hey, let me ask you a question." And the guy said, "Can you repeat that?" And I said, "Can I ask you a question?" and he said, "Are you black?" And at first I got offended. And I'm like, why does that matter? He said, because you say ax. He said, a lot of black people say ax. He said, it's ask. And so he hung up the phone, and I've been practicing saying ask for the past 7 years. It's ask, A-S-K. That's a hard word to pronounce. So let me prove you guys a point that most people don't know anything about economics. Go and ask 10 people around you how much money they make, and I guarantee you they don't know. Thank you for the badges, Anwar. Ask 10 people around you how much they make, and they can't tell you. Professionalism is everything. That's why I had to respect them for politely checking me. Ask 10 people around you how much money they make. They're going to tell you how much money the job tells them that they're paying them. Let me say that again. If you ask 10 people how much they make, they will tell you how much the job tells you that they are paying them. If your job if your job says you make $50,000 a year, that is not how much you make. That's how much the total package of how much they said they will pay you. Then ask those same 10 people, what are their monthly expenses? They can't even tell you. Thank you, Eugene, for the badges. Ask 10 people how much their monthly expenses are. And what they're going to do is they're going to tally their rent or mortgage, their auto loan, their insurance, maybe a couple utilities. They didn't factor in gas. They didn't factor in Starbucks. They didn't factor in the vending machine at work. They didn't factor in going to Chick-fil-A. They didn't factor in all of the streaming services. They didn't factor in meals and entertainment. They didn't factor in happy hour. They didn't factor in those purses that they've been buying, the sneakers they've been buying, the trips that they've been taking. Nobody ever factors those things in. And then we wonder why people are in financial ruin. Thank you for the badges. I did a breakdown that talks about how 95% of the global majority doesn't even know what a financial statement look like. Yeah, they don't factor in groceries, lawn care, car washes. Nobody factors that stuff in. Nobody knows how much their expenses are, nor how much they make. I guarantee you. They don't even know how much they pay in taxes. They don't even fill out their taxes properly. That's a whole nother life. Haircuts. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all can keep the list going. People don't factor in any of those things. And then they wonder why they can't afford to do anything. Tony said, if you think education is expensive, try seeing how much ignorance is. We don't even understand the two basic elements of economics, and that's income and expenses. So that alone tells me that 95% of the global majority doesn't even have a financial statement. My mic is up, fam. I don't know what's going on with my mic. 95% of the global majority does not even know what a financial statement looks like for their own household. Are you ready for the economic Black Friday? For most people, the answer is no. Y'all going crazy in the chats. Y'all going crazy. People don't factor none of that stuff in. Think about it. Are you prepared? Everything is expensive right now. Gas is up 61%. Chicken is up 20%. I bet you Popeyes don't run out of chicken now. It's up 20%. Big said, I love that question. How do you get ready? Well, first of all, you have to know where you are today. First of all, you have to get out of denial. See, a lot of people are in denial of their economic situation because things are straight for them. As long as they can pay their bills, sometimes not even on time, as long as you can plan a vacation, as long as you can drive a entry level foreign vehicle. That's right, the entry level. My mentor said I got to start telling the truth. So I'm going to start telling the truth, y'all. It might make you uncomfortable, but that's the only way we can grow. See, let me tell you a point where I've experienced growth in my journey when one of my coaches made me uncomfortable. He said, Will, you've been running that credit business for 5 years and you ain't made no money. Let me see your financial statement. Then I showed him my taxes and I was claiming a loss every single year. And he said, how can you call yourself a businessman when you're negative every single month, every single year? You don't have a business, you have a hobby. And that hurt. It hurt my feelings, my pride, my ego. But he said, Will, there's no growth in comfortability, so you have to get uncomfortable. See, a lot of you guys on this live and people that we all know personally will never grow because they're too comfortable. So, when you're comfortable, you don't grow. The needle never moves. That's why people aren't prepared for this economic Black Friday. The money was plentiful during the pandemic for most people. The more money they threw at you for free, the worse your situation got because you didn't understand income and expenses. We don't understand taxes. We don't understand how to mitigate taxes. We don't understand what assets are. Buying the biggest house to live in is not an asset, fam, if it doesn't make you any money. Buying the biggest house you live in is not an asset. See, everything that I teach people to own, I needed to make them money. Like Andy said, good debt versus bad debt. It's called structured debt and unstructured debt. Most people only are familiar with unstructured debt. We buy houses that nobody will ever see. We buy vehicles that most people will never ever get in. They have a new car scent for a reason. You have to hurry up and drive it to somebody's house to impress them with the scent of the car before it evaporates. People put themselves in unstructured debt to impress people who don't even like them. Because the more successful you get, the more people around you who are not attached to the success don't even like you. So what are you trying to impress? I'm trying to impress my financial statement sheet. I'm buying the dips. For those who don't know what I mean, I'm buying the dips. Are you prepared for the financial economic Black Friday sale? Instead of standing in line for the PlayStation, come learn how to play in real estate. And you can put it on a first person point of view and make money without doing anything. Let me show you how to control your riches, how to control your wealth as opposed to controlling a video game. My mentor said, Will, you got to get more vocal. You done helped a lot of people make a lot of money, but it's a lot of frauds out here taking it from them. It's people out here teaching y'all to hustle backwards. Half the people selling y'all stuff, they're not even in position for the stuff they selling y'all. I'm going to say that for another live. Today we talking about, are you ready for the financial Black Friday? Most people don't even know what wealth is. Wealth is not a lot of money, y'all. Let me put y'all up on some game. Did you guys know the number of people who became millionaires and billionaires grew exponentially once credit got instituted? Because I knew you. What's up, Andy? So because wealthy people or people who understand basic economics started to learn that credit is used to create cash flow, not to buy crab legs. But if you have cash flow, you can buy all the crab legs you want because the cash flow going to pay for it. I went to a fundraiser this past weekend in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it was a fundraiser where they were auctioning off some things for the community and different organizations and et cetera, et cetera. And there was a particular item that came up that I wanted to invest in. Now, there were not a lot of melanated people in this room. There were over 1,100 people. And there were not a lot of melanated individuals. And the particular item came up. It was something I told myself, I'm going to win that for my son. And I didn't care what it cost. Do you know how good that feels to be able to bid in an auction with people who don't look like us? And as he's continually driving the price up, I'm continually bidding. And here's what's so interesting. Once I won the bid, I went out into the hallway and this lady came up to me and said he didn't even want it. He just wanted to see if you could win. Let me say that again. She said he didn't even want the items. He just wanted to see if you can win. When you're in a position, when you're not worrying about and scratching about what it costs because you know you've created a multi 7-figure real estate business that pays for that can pay for anything. That's a great feeling, especially knowing where I came from, especially knowing that I was once homeless. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. I remember our first phone call, Andy. I love the progression, love the growth. Keep doing your thing. I love it. Keep inspiring us all. Do you know how good it feels when every first of the month you got X amount of dollars coming in, and the deposits are more than what the top 5% of people make in a year? Y'all hear that? The top 5%. The top 5% of income earners make $191,456 a year. That's the average top 5% income earners. That means taking from the people in the billions to 100,000. The average is $191,456. That's what real estate can do. And to know you can learn how to do all of that without ever having to use any of your own money. But yet, we're so blind and we get in our own way and we limit our own success because we tell ourselves every day we can't do it. Are you ready for this economic Black Friday taking place? Let's buy houses. I'm ready. I'm my credit cards are itching to be spent. I don't do real estate, but I buy properties from wholesalers. Excuse me, I don't do wholesaling, but I buy properties from wholesalers. But here's the thing. When I get properties that I may not want to buy, all I do is hit the forward button and send it to one of my investors and make money for doing nothing in real estate. Think about how powerful that is. I had a deal where I made $25,000 off of a deal where I don't have a real estate license. I didn't show the house. All I did was hit the forward button. It went to my investors who I've been helping get capital, and they bought the property, and I made $25,000, and I never even seen the property. My investors never seen it. Because when you understand these concepts of real estate, all we care about is something that's cash flowing. We don't care what it looked like. We care about the inspection report being solid. We don't care what the house looked like. But see, a lot of people will never get in the game of real estate because they still in the bedroom sleep. So they can't even get off the porch. They still in the house. People walked away from their real estate investments in '08 because they didn't understand the basics of financial economics. They didn't understand how debt structures work. As long as something services the debt, you winning. See, a lot of people are scared of real estate because they can't add. I said, I'm actually about to stop teaching adults. I'm about to start teaching teenagers. Because teenagers simplify everything. I did a workshop with some high school kids, and they said, why do more people don't own real estate? And I said, because it's too many numbers. I'm going to give y'all a basic equation of how to evaluate a real estate deal. If you're ready, say ready. I'm about to give y'all, I'm going to save y'all some money from having to go to a real estate program to learn how to evaluate a deal. I still recommend y'all go to workshops because the networking aspect is the most important component. But I'm about to clear everybody's mental whatever, and I'm gonna show y'all the most basic way to figure out if a deal is worth it or not. If you ready, say ready in the chat. I feel you, Andy. Hey, I'm about to just go start teaching kids in a minute. Like, I'll just eat off my 7 businesses and I'm gonna just teach kids for free because they not gonna be going back and forth and arguing. People only get mad because they not in position. That's like when you somebody who you claim is your best friend, they get mad at you because you can go to something that they can't go. You ever told your friend, hey, day one, we about to go to the Bahamas, and then they get mad. Why are you going to the Bahamas? They only saying that because they mad. They mad they can't go. But if they could go, they would say, hey, let's go. That's how money works. People get mad when you making money because they not making money. People call you a scammer because they scamming. They done scammed the banks they not paying back on the credit card debt that they got. They done scammed their best friend. They done probably scammed their mama. And they probably done scammed a couple people they were dating. Ask the Twinder Swindler, whatever the name of that show is. So let me give y'all a basic breakdown of how to evaluate a real estate deal. I'm gonna teach this to fifth graders because it's really fifth grade math. Okay, I'm gonna talk to them, Andy. So let's say you got said property, okay, and it's $100,000. It is a lot of scammers. I'm gonna do a live on that too. I'm about to start calling people out because, yeah. Anyway, so let's say it's a said property. It's $100,000. We're not worried about the ARV. Okay, this is why people can't figure out real estate because they try to get cute with the terminology. No, let me teach you how I teach my fifth graders, my high school kids. You have said property, it's $100,000. The mortgage is $750. Okay? The mortgage is $750. Now, don't be in my comments and in my DMs saying, well, what area is that in? I don't have properties in that market at that price. It doesn't matter. Find a market. I live in Nevada, in Las Vegas. I don't buy real estate here. I have clients who are like, Will, I'm in Brooklyn. The average property $1 million. Well, don't buy real estate in Brooklyn. A fifth grader would be like, oh, I'll just go somewhere else where the properties are 100,000. See what I mean? Like, we as adults, we overcomplicate everything. That's why they sell us sneakers where you don't tie your shoe. We overcomplicate how to tie our shoes as adults. All right, so you got said property. The mortgage is $750. Just find a market that where the rent is at least $850, $950. Like, it really is that simple. The average interest rate right now is 7.8%. Find a property that's going to pay you 8%. But then you may say, well, Will, in my market, it ain't no properties. Well, find another market. Yes, it's going to be some work. Who said it was going to be easy? See, we get mad when things get complicated because everything that we do is mindless. My mentor said, Will, go ahead and start getting people uncomfortable. I got to fulfill that assignment. See, most of the activities that we participate in is mindless. So when something seems difficult, we fall back. And it's not difficult. It just takes work. So said property, 100,000. The mortgage is $750. Just find a place that's where you could rent it out for more than $750. So when it comes to real estate investing, whatever the mortgage is, find a market that will pay you in rent more than the mortgage. That's all you have to learn in real estate. Now, of course, there's some other strategies in place, which I teach in my REI 90 program. But it really is that simple. If y'all was looking for something magical or an aha moment, that was it. The magic is in knowing how to add. That's the magic. The magic is in knowing how to evaluate a deal. The magic is finding a market that you can buy low and rent for high. But see, here's why we don't know how to do nothing. Because we try to buy high and sell for higher. That's not how economics work. You got to buy the dip. That's why you should be excited for this economic Black Friday coming up. So here's what I decided to do. Because I'm going to make it easy for everybody. Just like that, Eugene. Boom. If I could pick